Ethan Hayes had always been a man of quiet strength, honest, dependable, and deeply in love with his wife, Cassandra. For 15 years, they shared a life that seemed picture perfect. A cozy home in Colorado Springs, shared laughter over morning coffee, vacations under the stars, and endless whispered promises of forever. But as the saying goes, not everything that glitters is gold. At 47, Ethan received a death sentence. Pancreatic cancer, stage 4. The doctors gave him 3 months. 3 months to say goodbye, 3 months to leave the world behind. As he battled pain and fading strength, Cassandra stood by him, or so he thought. One night, weak and drifting in and out of sleep, Ethan overheard a phone conversation. Cassandra's voice, once his comfort, now twisted with lust and deceit. "He won't last much longer, baby," she giggled. "Soon we'll be free." The voice on the other end? Ethan's oldest friend, Marcus Tate. The betrayal shattered what little spirit he had left. In those final days, Ethan didn't fight for life. He waited for death. The day of Ethan's supposed death was overcast, the sky heavy with grief. But inside his mind, something else stirred, an ember that refused to die. A week before he was due to be moved into hospice care, a young doctor named Dr. Elise Grant approached him quietly. She had seen his latest scans. She had doubts. "There's a clinical trial," she whispered, handing him a folder while Cassandra was out of the room. "Experimental, risky, but you're a candidate. If you want to try." Ethan stared at the pages. The trial was overseas, discreet, anonymous. There was no guarantee, only a sliver of a chance. But that sliver was enough. The very next day, Ethan faked his decline. He demanded no visitors. On the morning of his death, the nurse wheeled an empty gurney covered in a sheet down the hospital hallway. To the world, Ethan Hayes was dead. To Cassandra, he left a simple note. "Don't mourn me too long. I'm sure Marcus will keep you busy." He boarded a flight under a new name. The man who left Colorado Springs was broken, betrayed, and barely alive. But he wasn't done yet. The clinic in Zurich was unlike anything Ethan had ever seen. State-of-the-art, private, and shrouded in secrecy. Over the next 8 months, he endured hell. Chemotherapy, gene therapy, experimental infusions, and hours of therapy. His body burned, his soul wept. But slowly, miraculously, he began to heal. Hair gone, muscles wasted. But his mind? Sharpened. While recovering, Ethan devoured books. Finance, business strategy, psychology. The clinic's library became his fortress. Every night he watched old home videos of Cassandra and Marcus with new eyes. He studied their lies. He memorized their tells. He didn't want his life back. He wanted justice. When he left Zurich a year later, the man in the mirror wasn't Ethan Hayes anymore. It was someone else. Someone colder, smarter, relentless. He became Nathan Hale, investor, strategist, and ghost of the past. Nathan moved to Austin, Texas. He started small, investing in undervalued properties, a rundown diner, a bankrupt fitness center. With grit and clever marketing, he turned them into gold mines. In 5 years, Nathan built an empire. His real estate company, Hale Holdings, became a silent powerhouse. He never showed his face in press releases. No photos, no interviews. Just the quiet legend of a mystery CEO who turned everything he touched into success. Meanwhile, Cassandra and Marcus enjoyed the life they had stolen. They married a year after Ethan's death. Marcus took over Ethan's old business, running it into mediocrity. Cassandra spent lavishly. Ethan's life insurance paid for her designer dreams. But Nathan watched. Always. He had private investigators follow them. He knew their schedules, their arguments, their secrets. And then he made his move. One of Marcus's key clients suddenly pulled out, redirecting a multi-million-dollar contract to Hale Holdings. Cassandra's favorite boutique closed overnight, bought out and liquidated. Slowly, methodically, he unraveled their world. It started with whispers. Marcus was losing money. Investors were spooked. Cassandra's name appeared in tabloid rumors, affairs, fraud, lies. And then came the invitations, an exclusive gala, hosted by Hale Holdings, guest list handpicked. The theme? Resurrection. Marcus and Cassandra arrived dripping in designer labels, expecting to network with the elite. Instead, they found a single man standing beneath a massive portrait. The portrait was of Ethan Hayes. Cassandra dropped her champagne flute. Nathan turned, his voice as steady as stone. "It's good to see you both again." Marcus's face turned ash white. Cassandra looked like she'd seen a ghost. "You died," she whispered. "I did," he said. "And now I'm here to return the favor." In a private room upstairs, Ethan showed them everything. Photos, recordings, bank statements, affairs, betrayal. He had it all. "You took my life. Now I've taken yours," Marcus begged. Cassandra cursed. But Ethan remained unmoved. He handed them 2 envelopes. One contains a deal. Walk away from everything. Leave the country. Start over with nothing. The other sends you both to prison. They stared at him, trembling. Cassandra asked, "Why not just destroy us completely?" Ethan looked out the window at the city he now ruled. "Because revenge gave me purpose, but peace gives me power." He turned and walked out. Ethan Hayes was buried in a cemetery in Colorado Springs beneath a modest stone, but Nathan Hale lives, richer, wiser, and finally free. And somewhere in the shadows of betrayal and rebirth, a man who once lost everything now has it all. Because some flames die quietly, and some rise again as fire reborn.